Hello ladies and gents, I'm the Beanie 101 and I'm back with some more franchise mode with the Vegas Golden Knights. We're sitting at a record of 20, 24 and 5, but we have improved throughout the month of January. So we're going to look to offload a few of our assets to help us out and maybe pick up a handful of draft picks here and there, but just to tweak our team. I've been doing a little bit of scouting, and there's a few players that I want to get rid of anyway. We've got far too many D-men, and we really should not really be holding on to as many D-men as we've got at as high levels. So players like Maricin, we can get rid of someone like Maricin, just find someone that's going to take him that's not... Colorado will probably do. And we can trade these sort of players, 75 overall, for maybe like a fourth rounder, third, fourth rounder. Let's try the third. Is that going to work? That's probably not going to work. Are they going to reject that? Yes, they are. So let's try a fourth rounder instead. In fact, let's try a fourth and a seventh. Is that going to go through? Yes, that is going through. Okay, so Maricin is gone. And the more interesting player that I'm wanting to trade away is actually one of our forwards that does have a semblance of trade value. It's Mikhail Bodka. He's done okay for us this year. 8 goals, 13 assists, -5. But he's just not really good enough in any facet of the game other than the fact that he's fast. He's fast, but other than that, he's really average. He's got good deking. Well done, you. But for someone that's playing third-line minutes, I think that I can get a decent amount for Mikhail Bodka. And one of the things that we do need, as we looked at our D-men last time around, is some offensive awareness. So this is maybe a little bit of a sidestep. We're trading an 82 for an 82 overall, but I'm considering Alex Goligoski. He's got better hands than Bodka. His skating is almost as good. He's better defensively. He's better offensively. He's about as physical, but the difference being he's a D-man rather than a forward. He's also 32 years old, and he does carry a little bit more of a contract, but Arizona are wanting to get rid of him, and it's easy to understand why, because if you have a look at their defensemen, they are stacked on D, right? They've got Ekman Larsson, who is a great offensive defenseman. They've got Chitran. They've got Eric Brandstrom coming up through the ranks, 18 years old, already has 83 offensive awareness. He's going to be a power play quarterback with no stretch of the imagination. Anthony D'Angelo, another young player who's up and coming. They've got Connor Murphy. They've got Goligoski. They've got loads of offensive defensemen. They don't necessarily need a 32-year-old Goligoski. But I think I can also get a draft pick off them as well if I'm lucky. They want to get rid of a fourth. Could I get Goligoski and a fourth for Bodka? Let's try it. Yes, we can. Okay, so those are 2 trades that we have done. So here are the changes to my starting lineup. The top 2 lines remain unchanged. Reinhart, Shipchev, Neal, Perron, Carlson and Marchessault. Riley Smith, Sheahan and McGinn. This becomes more of a checking line than a scoring line, but we still have Riley Smith here. Perhaps he's going to struggle a little bit more with McGinn and Sheahan on his line, but they should be okay. And Grabowski is with Beagle and Alex Tuck. And on defense, we've got a top-line partnership of Merrill and Hamonic. Bogosian and Goligoski are going to be on my second line. That's a big bruiser and someone who's a little bit more cultured. And then McNabb drops down to the third line, which, considering he's listed, his role is listed as a top 6 D-man, is absolutely fine. He's going to be partnered with Alexiak. They're going to be pretty physical on that bottom line. It does also mean that my power play changes somewhat. This top power play line looks like it might actually be pretty good. We've got Reinhardt, Shipachev, Neal, Marchessault, and Goligoski on that first line. Looks like it could do some damage. Second power play line is going to be Carlson and Perron. We've got Riley Smith as well. And then we've got Hamonic and Bogosian. Not too shabby. We've still got Tom Hickey to come back from injury, so I'm not too worried there. But those are the trades that we're going to do. We've picked up, 2 or 3 draft picks there, and we've got rid of a bit of depth, and also Bodka, who wasn't really doing anything for our team at this point. So let's move forward. We have the month of February ahead. We've got some big names that we're going to be playing. We've that second week of February where we've got Washington, Pittsburgh, San Jose, Philadelphia, Chicago, Edmonton, Montreal. Wow, those are some big teams that we're going to have to play. We do have a promotion night against Chicago, so that is going to be our game of the month. So let's sim up to that point and hope that we can put up some more offense now that we have... oh, God, Grabowski is out already. Who do we have scratched that we can have come in? Joe Morrow, that is it. You know what? Perhaps... can I go to roster moves? So looking at roster moves, the only real forwards that I can bring up without having to expose someone to waivers is Blandisi. Perhaps I bring someone like David Carlson up, just because no one's going to take that contract. He's going to pass through waivers no problem, and he's listed as a 4th liner. Let's call up Carlson. And then this way I can edit lines. And then this way, at least I've got Carlson to come in on that 4th line. Listed as a grinder. He's not going to do much. I'm not hoping for much, but we'll see. We'll see. He's happy to be in the NHL, so let's be demanding. He's responded favourably. That is good. Oh, back to edit lines. Okay, so our team is not looking good in Chicago, so let's bring Brent Sterling in. And what else do I need to do? 3-on-3. Let's do this. There we go. Chicago lines are all good and proper. So we start with... oh, John Merrill's been injured. These injuries are not good. Let's move Goligoski up, McNabb up, and let's dress Joe Morrow. Let's just make sure our power play lines look okay. So Goligoski, yeah, okay, that's fine. So we beat the Minnesota Wild. Blandisi. Let's move Gaunt up. I don't think I'm going to have any forwards that are going to be any decent. Ty Loney, fine. There we go. Washington, shootout loss against Washington, but we still pick up a point. We lose against Pittsburgh. Is there anybody who needs a meeting? Just Goligoski. Okay. Won't get trading for me. Let's be motivating. He's responded well. That is good. Multiple players are now available. So Clarkson is probably going to be the first. So who have we got scratched that's now available? Grabowski. Yeah. So we have a trade here. Dallas want Jay Beagle, our 4th line centre, for a 3rd and a 5th. And Anaheim's Ducks 4th round pick. I'm going to decline that. We win against the Sharks. Can we beat Philly? Oh, John Merrill's available. So goodbye Joe Morrow again. Let's move Merrill down to the second line. We can beat Philadelphia as well. Okay, so we've done really well here. I'm quite happy that we've picked up points. We've only dropped points twice. So we've got 3 wins and a shootout loss. And only 2 losses. So we're getting there. We're getting there. Seems like improvements made all round. So next up is our game against Chicago. Wish us luck. The Blackhawks are coming to Vegas. So here we are, we have the Vegas Golden Knights playing against the Chicago Blackhawks. We've got a little bit of a mother's meeting going on here. The Blackhawks discussing tactics and how they are going to overcome the mighty Vegas Golden Knights. Today we're going to have Marc-Andre Fleury in net. He's currently sporting a record of 15, 24 and 3. Save percentage is 914, which is not too bad, and a 2.77 goals against average is, again, pretty middle of the road. We'd like to see that coming down somewhat, but considering the losses on his record, Fleury has not necessarily been the problem. For the Blackhawks, we've got Jeff Glass in net. He's got a record of 8, 12 and 0. Goals against average of 3.41 and a save percentage of just above 88%. So Fleury certainly has the edge in net. Let's see if he can back up the Blackhawks nicely. Or can Vegas take the victory? Shipchov wins the opening face-off and the game is underway. Hamonic offside there. Moving on, the Blackhawks play the puck out of their zone. It comes down the wing. Try to play in the middle. Panic gets a lucky break. And he manages to get one-on-one with Fleury and slots it home. The Vegas defense going to sleep there somewhat. That's Panic's 17th goal of the season on the power play. Perron comes out of the box. You see the puck was just played through the middle. It took a lucky break, but Panic chased it forwards. Ended up one-on-one with Fleury and makes absolutely no mistake. Goes forehand, block aside, and it goes just over the pad of Fleury for a 1-0 lead. Moving on, the Blackhawks are again taking the puck out of their zone and coming down the ice, down the right wing. The puck goes loose in the corner. Hossa plays it back to the point. Hossa again. And Panarin is there on the slot. Prime goal scoring territory and he makes absolutely no mistake. Fleury's going to be disappointed with his D-men there. The Vegas crowd very, very disappointed. Panarin's 19th goal of the season. He celebrates with his fellow teammates. The puck comes across and a nice little pass to see Panarin wide open with plenty of space. Fleury really hung out to dry there. Couldn't get across his net in time. And midway through the first, we have a 2-0 lead. Hossa and Anisimov with the assists. Then in the second period, we have a face-off in the Chicago Blackhawks zone. Reinhart with the shot that just misses. He tries again, and it goes wide. Battle behind the net. Shipchev plays the puck in front. And James Neal just about manages to come away with the puck, gets it under control and slots it past the goaltender. James Neal with another goal there. It's his 16th of the season. He's starting to heat up. And the 5-on-3 proves fruitful. James Neal with plenty of time and space. The crowd go crazy to see Vegas on the board. 2-1, and they're back in the game. A couple of minutes later, Vegas are again trying to get the puck out of their zone. It's played forward to William Karlsson, who checks back, plays it to the point to Marchessault. Perron plays it into the middle, and the goal comes. That power play has been absolutely lethal. And we've got a tie game. Riley Smith with the goal, another power play goal. And the 5-on-3 ends up giving up 2 goals. Perron with a great helper there. Riley Smith sweeps it home. Celebrates with his teammates. William Karlsson with the secondary assist on that one. And we are level. Bang on halfway through the game. It's 2-2. Game on. Later on in the second, we have another face-off in the Chicago zone, but they managed to play it out quite nicely. Anisimov plays it to Hossa, to Anisimov, to Hossa. He gets the shot off, but Fleury fights it off. Another battle in the corner. Panic comes away with it. Oh, and he goes for the wraparound. Fleury leaves a little bit of daylight between his pads, and Panic makes no mistake. Just easing it between the goaltender's pads. His second goal of the night. Really good battle in the corner there. Backhand just manages to get it through Fleury's 5-hole. And the Blackhawks lead is restored. Great work by Panic there. It was an unassisted goal. On to the third. Chicago again playing the puck out the zone. The game is starting to be a little bit stretched. Panarin takes the shot. He gives up a rebound and he follows up his own rebound with another goal. His second of the night. So Panic and Panarin with 2 goals apiece. Fleury will be disappointed with the rebound that he gave up on that one. It's a power play goal. Perron comes out of the box. You see here, nice little shot by Panarin. Fleury tries to fight off the rebound. Doesn't quite get it away from the danger zone. And it pops right back out for Panarin, who fires it top shelf over Fleury's glove hand. And there's the dagger. So, end of the game. Chicago Blackhawks with the victory here. It's a 4-2 win. Vegas really not doing much 5-on-5. They made the most of their 5-on-3 power play and got 2 goals in that situation during the second period. But it wasn't enough to hold off the Blackhawks. It wasn't the superstars that did the business. It was Richard Panic that caused most of the problems with a gritty and workmanlike performance. Following up, great hustle, great energy. And the Vegas D-man caught a little bit flat-footed on a number of occasions, which will be disappointing for the coach and for the GM. We're going to take a look at the stats and a look at the 3 stars. Seems like it was pretty even. Vegas actually edged the time on attack, had better passing percentage. The power plays were 2 for 2. It's for 2 for 4 in both circumstances. Very, very even game. Vegas edging it in the face-off circle as well. But Chicago getting the all-important goals. And the 3 stars are no surprise. You've got Panarin, Panic, and Glass. The goaltender came up big when he needed to. He had quite a high goals against average and quite a low save percentage before this game. But he's done himself justice. And Chicago come away with the victory. So we're a little bit disappointed after losing to the Chicago Blackhawks. Panarin and Panic did the damage against us, and we've now fallen to a record of 23, 27 and 6. We're getting very close to the trade deadline. That's going to be on the 27th of February. So we've only got a handful of games to really get our record up to something that's semi-respectable. That's not to say this season has been a complete disaster. We've certainly showed some signs, but we're probably going to have to sell some assets off at the trade deadline. And we've got a lot of draft picks already, but we could probably trade away some of our more elite talent, bring up some players from the AHL, because the Chicago Wolves team is doing great. A record of 37, 12 and 8 is fantastic. So there's going to be some players that could probably fill out our bottom 6 without too much of a problem. So I'm going to sim to the trade deadline and see what goodness the next few games is going to bring. I have also offered a couple of people contract extensions.
Sam Reinhart was going to be a restricted free agent, so I've given him a 4-year deal. William Karlsson, I have also offered a 4-year deal. He's only 80 overall and been listed as third line scoring forward, but he's actually been playing pretty good with some decent power play time as well. So I thought he deserved a decent contract. So first up, we get a 2-1 win against the Oilers, which is great. We win against the Canadians as well. Let's do our scouting assignment. We've scouted the WHL a couple of times. Let's just do goalies for a week. Dmitry Kulikov is on waivers. Now he's he's only got 1 year left. Kulikov is kind of more of the same of what we've already got. So let's decline. Let's see how we do against Anaheim. Come on, give me another win. Can we get 3 in a row? Oh, Tom Hickey is back to the lineup. And now that means we need to send somebody down. We lose to the Anaheim Ducks. We beat the Flames. Come on. We beat the Canucks. And we've got another... oh, we're coming up to the trade deadline, so let's edit the trade block. So we've actually done okay, but I still think that we're going to have to trade away some assets now. Certainly James Neal is on the last year of his contract, so he can go on there. He's unlikely. He's 30 years old. We can get some more scoring depth in free agency without too much of a problem. Who else could we get rid of? Perron is another player that we can get rid of, and that's probably about it. Our defense, I'm relatively happy with at the moment. So let's see how we do with that. Trade first off the bat. The Arizona Coyotes would like Jamie McGinn, a 4th rounder and a 7th rounder, and in return we get Luke Schenn. Now, if I remember rightly, Luke Schenn is not great. Luke Schenn, what is he? 79 overall defensive defenseman. Good at shot blocking, good at stick checking. He's nice and physical. So he'd be quite a good penalty killer. But again, someone that he's injured at the moment as well. Yeah, okay, we're gonna decline that. Amateur Scout is back. Let's go to the queue. Let's do defenseman for a week. LA, are we going to win? Fingers crossed. No, we lose. Shootout loss, so we do get a point for that. So how have we done? We've actually got 4 wins. We've actually got points out of 5 of our last 6 games. So our record's 27, 28, and 7. Let's just back out and have a look and see where that puts us in the standings. And there we go. You can see that we're currently 5th in the Pacific. However, we are a long, long way behind the LA Kings, and we've just given them an additional point. So let's have a look at the overall standings and see where we are in the West overall. So you've got the Jets heading the way. They've got a great record of 46, 14, and 2. The Ducks are also having a great season. The Sharks, the Oilers, the Stars, the Predators, the Blues, the Kings. Yeah. Next up is the Colorado Avalanche, and then there's a big gap to us, the Canucks, the Blackhawks, the Wild. So, unfortunately, we're kind of middle of the pack. We're too good that we're not really going to be... Actually, you know, the Coyotes have only got 56 points. That's only a few games back. The Flames are well out of reach. And equally, I think playoffs are well out of reach as well. Looking at the entire league, how do we rank in the entire league? You can see we're 22nd at the moment. The Lightning are having a poor season. Senators, Blackhawks, Wild, Coyotes, those poor New Jersey Devils, 19 wins all year so far. Not a great season for them. And interestingly, have we improved our goals for per game? We're still one of the worst in the NHL. But actually, in terms of goals against, we're doing pretty well. So defensively, we're doing okay. Offensively, we're still struggling a little bit. Moving to player stats. James Neal, he's going to get his 20 goals a season. I don't care what anyone says. He is getting goals. After we shuffled up those lines and put an extra playmaker on there in Reinhardt, James Neal struggled to the midpoint of the season, but he's actually been doing pretty well. Marchessault, Carlson, Riley Smith, these are the guys that are getting second and third line minutes, but a decent amount of power play time. So they're doing pretty well. David Perron is now an even player in terms of his plus minus, so he's doing okay. He's on the second line, and you know what? He's flagging behind these guys, but I think that's because I don't have him playing any power play time. He does have 8 power play points. Who's doing best on the power play? That's interesting. James Neal, Carlson, getting it done on the power play. Reinhardt has 12 points on the power play as well. So some pretty good stuff. Perron hasn't been on the power play for quite a while. Defensively, Harmonic, 9 points on the power play. Actually, 17 points for a D-man who's a defensive D-man. I'm quite happy with 17 points from him. The rest of our D haven't really stepped up. Hickey was the player that I really wanted to step up and be decent for me offensively. But look how much he's been injured. He's only managed to play 34 games. Jamie Alexiak, who is our 7th D-man, really, has played much more games than Hickey, because Hickey has been out injured so much, which is a crying shame. So we're going to sim this final game against the LA Kings, just to get to the trade deadline. It's 1-1 after the first period. We have a Ginla with a goal, and James Neal. There you go. There is his 20th goal of the season. James Neal, 20-goal scorer yet again. Let's sim to the second. Oh, we're actually 2-1 up. William Karlsson continuing his good season. And then let's finish the game, and we end up with Goligoski with the goal right at the very end of the third period. No doubt an empty netter. And we get a 3-1 win against the LA Kings, which is really useful. 3 stars of the game. James Neal, Zatkov made 32 saves. Hutchinson did well. Yep, good game overall. So here's a trade I've teed up with the New York Islanders. We're going to get some offensive support yet again with Ryan Strome. He's got 87 for offensive awareness, pretty good. He's put up a decent season this year as well. He's got 39 points, 8 goals, 31 assists. So he can certainly be a playmaker for us. He's got good speed as well, which is nice. And then we've got Michael Del Col, which is a first-round pick that hasn't quite hit for the New York Islanders yet. He's 21 years old. He's got low elite potential, which is the type of player that I like to go for because they've got hugely undervalued trade value. He has been playing in the AHL all year. He's got 53 points, though, which is pretty fantastic. And we're going to give up McNabb because give them something that they want. Let's see if this goes through. Oh, it's rejected. Let's see if we can stick one of our draft picks in there maybe to just sweeten the deal a little bit. We've got a load of draft picks for 2018, especially low-round ones, so maybe we can give up a 5th rounder as well and see if that makes the difference. Yes, it's accepted. So James Neal is gone. Let's go to roster moves and tidy things up. So I've made a few changes to the lines as a result of that trade. Perron is up on the first line. Strome is slotting nicely in on the second line. What I've also done is I've brought Andre Nastrazil up from the AHL team because he has been putting up a fantastic year. He's had 64 points in 63 games, 24 goals, 40 assists, and just to show what it means, look at how being called up, having had a good AHL season, look what it's done to his morale for a start, and look what it's done to his attributes. His shooting attributes have gone up by quite a bit. So hopefully we're going to stick him on our third line, and he's going to do some damage. That third line becomes a physical scoring line. And then, as a result, I have got Dalacole, who is now a right wing on our first line for our Chicago Wolves. Lance Boom is up on the second line, and Grabowski, we've just dropped down to the AHL. His stats have taken a bit of a tanking. Yeah, those are some of the changes that we've made. So I'm going to sim to the end of this week to get us into the 3rd of February, and we're going to leave the game there. Let's see how we do against Ottawa, and we can have a look at some of our stats. Oh, Thomas Hiker, let's say assistant coach replaces player, that's fine. And we lose to the Senators. Disappointing, to say the least. But our record has actually not been too bad. We are 28, 29, and 7, and we've got the New Jersey Devils up next, which I'm sincerely hoping we do beat. And we'll see how we go. We are currently 5th in the Pacific, so for a first season in the league, we're not doing too shabby at all. We've certainly built for the future. We've got players that are coming through quite nicely. Our AHL team is doing great guns. Let's have a look at our AHL team. They have a record of 41, 15, and 8. Bellemare is absolutely killing it. 69 points in 61 games. We are certainly top of the AHL standings at the moment with 90 points. A good 6 points ahead of the Manitoba Moose. So let's see if we can keep that up. Thank you ever so much for watching. I've been the Beanie 101. Next time round, we're going to finish up our first season, see how we end up, and we're going to look forward to the NHL Draft. But thanks for your support. Don't forget to check the channel out for some more NHL content. There's plenty on there to satiate your viewing appetite, and I'll catch you again next time.